2023. And at this moment, being 5:34, will the town clerk please call the roll?
Chair Turgerman,
Here.
Vice Chair Jacobson,
Here.
Board Member Singer,
Here.
Board Member Gonzalez.
Here.
Board Member Herman is no longer on the board. Thank you.
We have a quorum? Yes, you do. Thank you. All right, at this time, I'd like to acknowledge the attendees of this meeting, other than the board members, which is Frank Tugueros, Cindy Reyes, Daniela Simo, Daniela Simo, the attorney, and that's about it. And of course, our illustrious town clerk. There she goes. Welcome, everybody. We don't have the mayor, which is our liaison, present, and I don't believe he's going to attend the meeting. I think he's out of town, I was told. So he may not be here in time. Meantime, we move to item number 4. Nobody has any objection. Approval of the minutes of May 1st, 2023.
Motion to approve?
Do I hear a second?
I'm second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, motion carries.
Thank you. All right, the next item, which is a very important item for the board, which is the tax collection and vacancy report. Before Frank gives us the report, do you have the breakdown? Perfect, thank you. Go ahead.
Thank you, Chair. So the summary that I provided for you all this month are the first 3 months of the year. And if we look at those numbers, we can see we're holding strong on the food and beverage side. We're actually up 4.4% January through March compared to last year. We are a little bit down 7.5% on the 4% accommodation side. I know that the report was updated recently, so the numbers might have changed ever so slightly. But overall, we're still, holding pretty strongly, quite similar to last year. And as the chair mentioned, you all have the full breakdown for the 4% and the 2% with you as well.
Thank you, Frank. I just want to make a note to all the board members that this report, I believe, is very informative for the board, because this way you know exactly, who's contributing and how much they're contributing to the tourist board tax dollars. So I've asked Frank to provide us on a monthly basis with this type of report. I think you will all find it very, very useful.
Can I just add one thing? Frank, would it be possible to add the dates of the vacancies on there? So we can kind of keep an eye on, if things are going up or down, it's hard to follow from month to month.
Sorry, Vice Chair, just when the businesses are reporting when they're reporting the vacancy?
Yeah, when the vacancy existed.
Okay.
That way we can kind of keep track. Oh, it's the same 4 stores that have never gone vacant. Oh, now we have some extras coming on, just so we can.
Sure, yeah.
Thank you so much.
We'll add.
Any observation on this report provided? No? We will move now on to item number 6, which is discussion items.
Chair Turgerman, may I recommend perhaps that was the sand sculpture contest first, since we have Mr. Oros here with ACT Productions. You might entertain having him first with Movies on the Beach, followed by the Sandcastle.
Right, both
Idea.
of them?
Sure.
Both of them together.
Mm-hmm.
Do you follow that? Oh, yes? Yeah. Ezekiel follows it, Diana?
Yes.
So we're gonna add both of them together as one.
Okay, I need a motion. If you're merging items on the agenda, I need a motion linking those items.
The six-
Perfect.
The
Perfect.
6A with,
It's 6A with
6F.
6F.
I make a motion to merge item 6A and 6F as one item.
Do I hear a second?
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay,
Mr. Bruce Orris with ACT Productions.
Sir, you're on.
Well, thank you very much. Nice to be here, and good to see that surf is up, according to the numbers that you just reported from the
Sir, sir,
tax
for
rolls.
the record, your name and address,
Oh, I'm
please?
sorry, Bruce Oros. My address is, my business address is 407 Lincoln Road. My home address is 5025 Collins Avenue. So I'm a local and I drive through here all the time, and I support this village frequently. And, you know, I feel like it's a bit of deja vu. I was here, I guess, about a year ago to talk about some of the ideas that we kind of kicked around to, you know, get more community engagement and sort of get people out and come to the beaches and sort of enjoy some of the activities that are not typically happening day in and day out on the beaches. So one of the ideas that we explored last year with you all was to do a sort of movie on the beach, much like in Central Park, where you have on the Great Lawn movies that are shown periodically, and it draws a very big crowd of people that get to sort of share in the community atmosphere and being part of a great social event. With that, some of the ideas that we shared with you in the past were to identify some movies that would be kind of universally adopted by the community, PG, where you could bring characters from the likes of the movies to sort of have photo ops and experiences on the beach while the movie is in sort of preparatory phase, so that there can be, you know, an opportunity for people to sit down, get settled, and, you know, see the characters that may emerge, whether it's Superman or it's Spider-Man or Catwoman or whatever the case may be, to sort of create a little bit more of a dynamic experience on the beach. Then have the stage set up for the beach with the sound and the screen, and have a really great night of entertainment that would be, you know, if you would like to have MCs, people that could speak to the community, that can, like the mayor, welcome people, you know, create sort of a nice environment for everybody to feel like Surfside is really delivering as a community partner to their constituents and to the people that live here. So, you know, these are really fun events. We would share with you the idea and look at a variety of different movies that could be shown. We would then go to whoever was the producer of the film and license it for that night so that we could show it to the public and have a really great evening. With that, you could do more, like bring food trucks if you wanted, or, you know, for people to buy food, or some of the local restaurateurs to do some pop-ups along the way in or the way out of the event. You know, obviously, a lot of considerations there for you to think about to, again, improve and engage more of your partnerships that live and thrive here in the community. So I sent you a presentation. I hope you have all seen it. We sent it to you.
Yeah, I don't think so. We have nothing on you, by the way.
Yeah, we're.
Oh,
Okay, the only thing that we have is that I suggested to Frank to bring you back to us and do a presentation.
oh, okay. So we
so-
forwarded a presentation to you earlier. Did you get it?
I can't find it. Was that from you or from?
Yeah,
Barbara?
it was from Amelia. Just to get a little background on ACT, who we are. First of all, just so you know, I'm the chairman of the Greater Miami Convention and Visitors Bureau. I've been doing that for 9 years. So I'm very familiar with the way things kind of work in the community.
Right.
My company, ACT Productions, I moved down here from New York back in the 80s when, when this town was quite different. And we've been part of the evolution. I would hope to think that we've been a very good partner to this community. We have done many, many events here, just for those that you that don't know me and know the company. We work with Art Basel year in and year out for the last 21 years. I produced the halftime, pregame, and postgame of the Orange Bowl for the last 17 years. We do work with Super Bowl when it comes into town with many, many different organizations. This month we have the American Black Film Festival coming to town, that we're producing that show. It's an industry event. So we have our fingers in the event business and the television community and the movie world.
I have a question, sorry to interrupt you, but.
Sure.
I'm interested in, first of all, the idea of movies on the beach and/or a sand contest is very appealing, I think, to me and to the board, because the board is constantly looking for ideas other than the normal that we've done, Thursday Under the Stars, Thursdays, movies on the beach, or whatever, music on the beach. Where is your forte? Assuming that we were to go with you on one of the activities, or two activities, or three, or four, or five, where is the source of advertising on your part?
Well, the way we would work with you and collaborate on the ways to promote the experience. We would try to give you social media suggestions, help you with the social media lift, and help you push it out into the community through our internal people that work with us inside. If you wanted, we could bring aboard a PR firm, but I don't think you really need that. I think your community liaisons are strong. But we'll look at any and all the opportunities that exist to help you kind of communicate the experience on the beach. We have done so many events on the beach, they're countless. From art shows to working with the big art shows like Scope and Untitled,
But you don't have yourself venues that you do advertise your activity. I mean, we have social media.
Yeah, sure, we have our own website that we promote and post information all the time. And we communicate to our constituents and our partners and our clients what we're up to all the time. That's an ongoing process.
Okay. Go ahead.
I remember that he was here making a presentation, just the price, we didn't get the price, and that is why we didn't go with him, but I remember him bringing this idea. This idea of the movie, I think, is something that is great, because
Yeah.
I have been attending that. I don't want to mention the name, right, but the neighbors. But it's very good, it has been very good, and a lot of people show up, and it's very, very good, the way that they do that. I think it's a great idea. That this one, at least that event with him.
Also the timing, goes to movies, perhaps maybe what's the schedule of timing, hours?
Well, I think
hour.
I think you have one challenge right now, which is the sun is high
Right.
until 8:30 at night. So unless you're going to start at 9 o'clock, and there's not going to be any kids coming out, no youngsters at that hour. So Frank and I discussed this, and thank you, Frank, for and getting back with me. We propose it should probably be a fall activity, so that you can, unless you put an LED screen that is prohibitively expensive, you should stick with our idea of an inflatable screen that you could see at, at dusk at 6:30, 7 o'clock in the fall. So you could have a nice evening of it. The summer months just don't work for something like this. Unlike a concert or an art show or a sand sandcastle competition or whatever.
All right, so speaking about these movies on the beach, we probably are looking at a fall activity after the budget year. Yeah. After October 1st, in other words, we're looking at. So something like that, we're probably looking into maybe November activity or December activity. Okay, so that's down in the future. If you all agree. Yes, Ben?
Yeah, I think we were, part of this. I mean, we liked your presentation. Obviously, the price was a little bit more than we paid for events, but something we could definitely discuss. The idea we had more was, we have the summer coming up now. We still have a considerable budget, and this is a low time, right? The restaurants are a little bit quieter, so we really need to step up the activities, bring more people to Surfside, in this particular season. So we were looking to also have additional ideas of things to do on the beach, where on the agenda is to extend the Music on the Beach series, which has been very popular. Do you have other beach concepts, things you would recommend for, the summer, which, keeps everybody cool and enjoy and, and hopefully we can bring more traffic into the area?
Which is timely.
What?
Timely.
Timely, right. Something that we can do next month or the month after.
Yeah, that's a great point. I think, in our experience, I think fashion shows could be fun. It could be, it could be a surf story, where you put up surfboards and have a fashion show around it with kids. It could be young, it could be from any and all ages, a fun fashion show. It could be the sand castle or the sand sculpting competitions.
Well, that I'm interested in, and I don't know if the whole board will support something like that because I brought it to the board. To me, I think that's pretty nice if we can have a sandcastle contest.
Yeah, I mean, they
And
work.
Summer is here, and it would be very appropriate for summer type activity.
Right, and it could be done any time of the day.
Right.
And I
Well,
mean, they usually take quite a bit of time. So it really would be kind of a noon kickoff where you run it into the early evening, and then you have you give out some awards from a local restaurant or a hotel or whatever.
Have you done that?
Well, we've not done the awards, but
No, not the awards.
we've done the sculptures, yes.
Sculptures, yeah.
Yeah.
Or a competition on the
Yes.
beach. You have done that.
Yes.
And do you believe that they are successful?
Again, it's all about how much promotion and how much information you can put out there. But typically, it's a wow factor, especially if you bring an anchor. So you bring a real sand sculptor in, well, that's a real artist, and then you get them to motivate your community of people that want to play.
Question. Zeke?
I would definitely like to see the event. I mean, we have budget and our entire summer to do things, so
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, how quickly could you put together an actual proposal? Because, we don't have, we're going through time really quickly. And, obviously, the sand sculpture, you have to have a number of activations, right? It can't just be sand sculpture because some people are going to get bored. So I don't know if there's music going on, if there's
For sure,
a
you
slip
need a
and-
DJ.
a slip and
you need to have
slide.
energy.
I don't know, something interesting,
Energizing.
energizing. There's other activities and things. So
You absolutely need energy. It can't just be a quiet, kind of concentrated area.
Diana?
Yeah, if you make the proposal, like Ben say, I think we can really try to see it as soon as possible because otherwise we are meeting just every month and we'll be then until next month. We're going to see it again. I don't
Frank?
know.
Chair, just one consideration for Bruce and for everyone to think about, but just given the summer timing, if we do move forward with the sandcastle competition, how do we mitigate rain or, if we have a sculpture and then we have a heavy storm or, if we have to postpone because there's inclement weather, how would that work?
Yeah, look, it's Mother Nature dictates that. So the answer is good luck, basically. I mean, with an artist, that would be the key, and the DJ, that's one thing. They would need at least 24 to 48 hours of cancellation. So if there was something brewing, we could cut back. Otherwise, there's going to be some fees incurred.
We've had that before with events where something gets delayed due to the rain and we push it a week or whatever it is.
Yeah, that
you
can,
know.
that's
Yeah,
easy.
we rescheduled.
Right.
Can you, the fact that time is of the essence, can you put together a presentation for us
Sure.
in a very short manner? I don't know if we can,
Shouldn't be a proposal instead of a presentation?
well, a proposal, that's what I meant,
Also
sorry.
that we can review
Thanks.
maybe,
Yeah.
that you can send us and we can review before.
Yeah. Because we're right now, we're kind of short on activities, and the vice chair is very apropos into activities, especially in the summer, where we haven't really scheduled much.
Right.
We have scheduled for the winter and so on and so forth. And we could consider you also
For the movie.
bearing in mind the activity on the movies, which will take place probably, if we accept it, sometime November, December.
Right.
But right now, we're looking at something, timing of the essence.
Yeah, when are you looking at, would you want to put something on, a sand sculpture competition out?
Most probably, I would say July and August, but let me ask the board.
What, maybe, what, do we have anything, well, July 4th, we have the fireworks show and presentation, right? So we've got
We have
something.
July
July
fireworks.
What about for like a Labor Day? I mean, I know that's all the way in September, but there's a
That's okay.
holiday.
Too
What
far.
about you, Diana?
You didn't
But it's too
know.
far, because what is the summer, I mean, August, nothing in August? What about August?
We could do August. Just to remind people, we have the first Sunday is our beach party event, but Sunday we could do a Saturday. We could do a different week. That's the first week. We could do the second. or third.
First of all, before we continue, I think we have a consensus that there's an interest, correct?
Yes.
Correct? Okay. So let's move forward on that idea. Present something to us or for us to consider sometime in August.
Can I propose July 16th or 23rd? Try to get,
It's your birthday.
no, March 6th, but just
No,
something,
let's-
I don't want to wait all the way
let's-
till
Let's
August.
propose, August 17th is my birthday. so
August
wait.
17th?
I'm just kidding.
There we go.
Really? August 16 is mine.
Oh, God, there you go, 16, 17.
A special week. Guess we'll do a whole week, you know,
Really?
fireworks every night.
All right.
I can't believe it.
Great.
All lions, all the lions
Oh,
are here.
big
Oh, my
time,
God.
big time.
When is the what is and when is the beach party?
It's a beach kind of block party that happens the first Sunday of the month. So we just had our first yesterday. So that will be July, August, and September
September, yeah,
for the
4
first Sunday. But the other weeks are really pretty much open. But of course, I know there's some logistics or maybe artists involved in scheduling that. But I think sooner the better is the consensus.
Yeah.
At the end of July.
I mean, would you consider, what kind of promotion do you do around the beach party?
You know, we use our channels, so our Instagram, we have 2 Instagram accounts, our Facebook, our on website, our eBlast next door. We do calendar listings, GMCVB, Eventbrite, etc.
Okay, because that could be a nice little leverage point, that you could use the communication going out about the beach party, but come a day before and watch the sand sculptures going on, and if there's nice weather, they will live on till the beach party. Make it a kind
an
of
idea.
have a dual purpose.
Right.
That's an idea. Diana?
I think if we have the beach party, it's better to separate the event. Like event proposed at the end of July, maybe?
Well, we kind of have to,
Right.
because we have the first, we have to kind of put it in the middle, right? Kind of like we have the third Thursday and we have the first Friday, so it's like every 2 weeks we have an event. Because if you have back-to-back, we've done the back-to-back events and people are just losing it. But every 2 weeks or so, we should be able to pull off a really nice event for people.
So would you be able to then prepare something for
Sure.
us? I don't know the logistics on our part, because, you know, I don't want to wait too long. The fact is that, again, I repeat, time is of the essence. So this is the direction that the board is asking you to do.
Okay, just one the permitting. Do we have to go through permitting with you, or
We
you-
can
No,
pull
we
the-
are-
Or do you do
We
it?
are the.
Yeah.
You do the permits?
We can pull the special events permit, so anything that you need from the town, we can facilitate, and of course, we'll work with legal to come up with an agreement, so
Right.
that's also part of the process, is to have the agreement.
Okay, so ideally, what dates do you want to shoot for?
I was thinking if you can do it, either the 16th or 23rd, which is, well, first off day, we want to do a Sunday, I assume, right?
Sunday, I think would be
Sunday.
best.
So 16th or 23rd of July, because that's.
Oh, July, okay,
That separates you from all of the, the first.
okay.
16th would be in the center, dead center. 23rd would be a little bit closer to the week after.
Right.
But, so I mean, I would shoot for the 16th if it's possible, which means you would have to come back at our next meeting, which is the 11th, the 10th, with a fully blown proposal, contract, everything basically ready to go, so we just have to sign off on it.
June 10th?
July 10th is our next meeting, so.
Oh, July
You would work
10th.
with Frank, you have our like preliminary support. Once you have the proposal, contract, everything is complete, on July 10th, we would actually approve it, and then that would roll out on the 16th.
Because we have to, maybe we can check by email what is going to send it to Frank, because we cannot meet before July 10, right? And-
Correct, yeah.
And we can make comments or additions or.
I might recommend the 23rd, Ben, if it gets
Yeah.
approved on the 10th, just so we have more
little
time
more
to
room?
like promote it.
Yes.
Okay,
Because,
Okay, that
to have
sounds
like
good.
a
That sounds good.
couple
23rd's
weeks
good,
to-
so July
The
23rd.
23rd.
Okay.
All right, and then we can discuss later on, because due to the fact that it's gonna be done in the winter, we can discuss movies on the beach. But just to give you a heads up, that's where we're at.
And just the other thing, all of the events we've done here, we generally have food. They have both kosher and non-kosher. There's generally drinks involved, so that people are used to having that full experience.
And
where
you coordinate those elements?
that's all through our vendor. We don't touch any of that.
Okay, but you would want us to help you?
You guys,
Oh, you
We
do
would
that.
help you coordinate that.
you're the soup to nuts. You bring the
Okay, well, all
food, you
right.
bring
Concept to
everything.
completion, got it.
Yes.
All right, done.
Okay?
Yeah, sounds good.
All right, thank you very
All right,
much, sir.
thank you, guys.
Thank
Thanks so
you.
much.
Thank you, Bruce.
Frank, I'll
We'll be in touch, yep.
All right,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, that's cool. Now we have one more activity, and actually two, one when winter already set up. And we definitely need to look into other type of, that's why I asked you to do this one, because at least we had a presentation from him before. Okay, any questions? Okay, at this time, I want to acknowledge, since I've acknowledged everybody, our town manager is present for the record. Okay, thank you. All right, next item is,
Just a question before,
Sure.
Eli. If this gentleman is going to send something to Frank, we can make some suggestions before the 10 that he can change?
Absolutely.
Right? That you
Absolutely.
send it, maybe, if we're available, we can send you some of.
Yes, you can send me your
Just,
feedback.
just clarification, you cannot send it to the board members.
Yeah, just to me.
Directly only to Frank to not
Yeah.
violate any sunshine.
Correct. yeah.
Yeah. Oh, just to Frank.
Right.
You sent that last time
and then he'll
about-
send it to whoever the parties may be.
Okay.
Because unfortunately, we just,
at that time.
closure, you gotta have it over the sunshine, and then if it's cloudy, then we have a problem.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, any further things, Diana?
No.
Zeke, you're okay? Good. Ben?
Yeah.
All right, next item. Cold water requirements for tourist board events. That is our vice chair, Ben, you're on.
Yeah, so this one, I know we've had the conversation in person with vendors. We've brought it up to this board on multiple occasions to, make it a requirement. There should never be a situation where somebody's trying to find water at one of our events and they can't. Yet somehow that's still, I guess, it hasn't been clear enough to some of the vendors. I was at the Sunshine Under the Stars and couldn't find any water. So when I asked where could I find water, I was told there's a water fountain in Town Hall, which is just unacceptable. I mean, there's just only so many warnings you can do in order to get the desired events you want. So where you go back to, it's always the money. So I'd like to make a motion that to amend our contracts with our vendors, that if they are to run out of water at an event, we will fine them $500, not through the town's penal system, but through the contract itself directly. And this should put an end to running out of water, because at that point, the town can open up their water stores and give everyone water, and they'll get the $500.
Question. Madam Attorney?
Yes.
That is okay to be included in future contracts? The statement of penalty in case?
We can provide for penalties. I'll have to review it with the town attorney, Lee Rango, but we can provide penalties if they're not doing something they're supposed to do under the contract.
Also, from what I understand, the contracts we have are at-will contracts, which means we can terminate them as we see. So I would like that that amendment to be added to all of our contracts, not just the ones that are moving forward, but the existing ones that may be coming up. So if if they refuse to sign that amendment, we will just terminate their contract. I don't want to get to another event where it's not in the contract, so they can still play around. Our people need water. No one should ever be thirsty. If they can't handle that, they start paying significantly.
All right. Do I hear, Madam Clerk, we need a motion for that? You made a motion?
Yeah, I made a motion.
Do I hear a second?
Could you repeat the motion, just to be clear, please?
All right, so the motion is that there will be a $500 penalty added to all future contracts as well as all existing contracts, and that they are required to provide unlimited cold water to all of the residents. If there is a violation of that subsection, cold water, if there... What? Oh, sorry, to everyone, anyone who's attending. If there is a violation of that, then they will pay $500. And if any vendor refuses to agree to that section, we will terminate their contract immediately.
And Ben, just to clarify, so they would need to provide the cold water throughout the duration of the entire event?
Duration of the entire event.
And who determines if they've run out of water at what point?
Well, if they run
we
out
are
of
checking.
water, I mean, we have attendees.
But will Frank be there, or will someone?
Anybody from the town staff or the tourist board can make that claim.
Yeah, because we noticed that in different events, and we are there always checking.
Right. There's always staff and tourist board members there. So anybody, from there would I guess would send a message to Hector or to Frank explaining the situation, and at that point the town would take action.
All right, do I hear a second? If not, I second.
I second.
I second. Call the roll, Madam Clerk?
Vice Chair Jacobson,
Yes.
Board Member Singer,
Yes.
Board Member Gonzalez,
Yes.
Chair Turgerman.
Yes,
Motion carries.
thank you.
All right.
All right, we now move to 6C. ADA beach mats, Vice Chair.
Can we pop that up or?
What is it?
So this is I guess I'll go into the explanation while Frank pulls it up. This is ADA beach mats. So for a lot of, our beaches, right, our prime spot, that's what drives a lot of the tourism. Everybody comes to see the beach. They're pristine. They're beautiful. The issue is that the way our beach goes, getting over the sand and getting to the beach is can be a very cumbersome activity, especially for the elderly, people with strollers. And it's twofold. Not only is that difficult for them to get across, but it's also erodes the beach. So if you go by a lot of the different walkways going over, you'll see where there's channels that are being driven into, there's lines, either, the chairs are going back and forth. So the idea is that there's, the town of Surfside right now has these beach mats. There's one behind 93rd Street, there's one on 96th Street. It's, beautiful, looks just like that. And it really keeps the area protected and safe, which, keeps our tourists happy and coming. So we have I believe this, the Four Seasons was one of the first to request it for their building. And my thought was, we've got this additional funding. We should open up a project with the, hotels and condos to be able to place these into the different walkways. And, I think there's something like $6,000 a mat to install. So the idea would be to have do a share. We would pay 4, the condos would pay 2, or some number that we come up with. And then the condos would pay some sort of annual fee to maintain it. on their own, nothing to do with us. But the idea is here is to keep our paths pristine and clean and to make it safe and accessible to all of our tourists.
I like the idea, because the first time I saw those mats was in Miami Beach, the Upper Beach, where the park is. They had those mats, and I thought that they were fantastic, especially if you're riding a bicycle. You go over, those mats are going to the beach. I do like the idea, because I was gonna say, no, I'm not for it, but I do like the idea of sharing the cost. Because normally, these type of mats are basically done by the business itself, the hotel itself. The fact that we have it on 96th Street, there's no hotels there, basically. And the fact that we have it on Community Center is the same story. It's the community. And all, basically the other ends, other than I think 88th Street, it's all taken up by hotels. So I like the idea of sharing the cost. Maybe not on a 40-60, but maybe in a 50-50 type of idea. Do you agree?
Yeah, the one in 96 we paid for? I thought that
Yes.
was Bar Harbor,
No.
no? And everyone used the 96.
Mr. Manager?
Thank you, Chair. Ball Harbor paid for the 96th Street. It's on their part. So Ball Harbor, 96th Street has two beach entrances. It wedges over. The northern one is Ball Harbor. That's the beige, cream color one. Ball Harbor paid for that one. The blue ones are the ones we paid for. Currently in 3 locations right now. One of them is the community center, and there's one to the north and one to the south, 89th Street, and I believe the 4th or 95th Street.
Exactly.
Oh, by the Turtle, there's one.
95th Street. yeah,
95th.
correct.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
How many
Dick?
would be in total? How many?
So what is there? How many buildings?
To be clear, there's a total of 16 of those cut-throughs along our beach line. 16.
16
And 3 are
entrances.
done right now. So
3 are done right now, 16 total. So that means 14 are remaining. Not all of them would be affiliated with a hotel. I think your hotel ones are limited to probably.
Or condos.
hotel or condo, either
And
one.
you open up
Condos, yeah. Yeah, I mean, the fact is that, we're doing our share as far as the tourist board is concerned, and we're proposing that to them as a benefit,
It's a benefit for
a
them.
big benefit for them. And I think it's fair to say that.
Chair,
So, yes, sir.
one question, sir, and I apologize. So the idea is tourist board will approve to fund up to 50% of each respective one.
Correct.
What if we don't get the buy-in of a specific location? Do you want to proceed to? I've ran into issues like that, especially with the turtle lighting, the bollard lighting. Some of them want to give permission, but they just don't want to pay for it. So in the event that we have a situation where it would benefit, but
Well, here's my case. My case is it's gonna benefit their residents and visitors to that location. If they don't want it, well, so be it.
perfect. What we'll do, Chair, is we'll create a program and notify them that this program exists.
Right.
And we get their buy-in through it, and then
Right.
I could think of a few that would buy in, but I could also think of a few that won't.
Right.
Yeah, and leave it up to
And-
each building, and condos change over time. I would make it though a requirement that if it goes in, they have to pay whatever it is, $250, $300 a year in maintenance fee. As part of putting this in, they have to agree to sign up for that, because at some point this is gonna get damaged, and I don't want it to now be that the board switches and they stop, handling it. Once they put it in, they're paying fees.
Yeah.
Good. Yes.
Through the chair, if I may, Mr. Manager, do you know how many potential mats we're looking at? 16, but don't we already have some out there? So
14 total. So if you do
14.
6,000, it's $84,000. So if
Half.
best case scenario occurred, it'd be half, which is $41,000. So I guess we're seeking the expenditure approval up to $41,000
Up to.
up to. in the
Which
event.
it'll probably be, if it's half of that, we'd be, lucky. So we're probably only gonna be spending 20, but we'll have
Okay.
to allot for it.
that seems reasonable. And just so you all know, this document that I provided you will list what is available in our current budget from the marketing and promotion side, on the event side, and also provided the breakdown for the promotional items, so you can see how the 50,000 has been spent so far. So the top part of that page is predominantly the money that's available on the non-event side.
We have the money. I mean, that's without a question.
Yes, yes, but
Have the
you,
money.
you would probably also pull the monument sign from this pool
Yes,
as well.
absolutely.
We have 378,000, is that what I'm reading?
Yeah, 378.
37?
No, no, that's what was available in the beginning. So after
Yeah.
all of the additions you guys have made, we're at 127, 420 for special event.
Yeah, we're,
Oh, 127, okay.
Yes,
And
and
then-
then we have, if you add up the top part, I think it's roughly like 50-something thousand dollars available on the promotional and marketing side. And we're down to about 8,700 left on promotional items, although that might be okay given what's left for the year.
Right.
Yeah, but if we have to pull from somewhere else, we'll be able to do that too.
Yeah, exactly. This is where you can
Right.
pull from, yeah. So that's why I
okay.
provide.
All right, so we need a motion?
I want to discuss, Steve, before the motion. I agree with this proposal that Ben is doing, but if they agree to maintain and to pay the 50%, if no, I disagree.
Yeah, that's the
No, but that's
proposal.
the-
The
Right?
proposal is they're
That's
gonna
what
be
we're doing.
required to
Ah,
pay
okay.
Right.
$250, $300 a year as
they
maintenance
commit
to the
to
town.
that. Okay.
And they're also gonna have to pay 50% of the installation costs.
Or-
Yeah, okay,
Yeah, that's the motion.
okay,
Okay,
okay.
do I hear a second on that?
Okay, I don't have a motion.
you're not-
Okay, I'm sorry.
Oh.
The motion is to approve the ADA beach mats with a program with a 50% coverage from the tourist board, as well as a annual required fee for the buildings that maintain it, between, slow down?
No.
I
Yeah.
can only type so fast. So I have to approve the ADA beach mats with a program.
With a program that will be 50% covered by the tourist board, and will require the buildings to pay an annual maintenance fee.
Or to maintain that.
50%, yeah, we're only paying 50%, the buildings are doing the other 50%. We're doing 50%, the buildings are doing 50%.
Right.
Yeah.
I didn't hear that clarification.
Oh, well, we're only offering 50%, so if they can find a 50% the rest however they'd like to. Yeah, that's the motion. Did I miss, want to read it back to make sure we're all on the same page?
Okay, I have to approve the ADA beach mats with a program that the tourist board will cover 50% and will require the buildings to pay an annual fee of 50%.
No, an annual
No.
fee of, what do we want to say, Hector,
Maintenance
for,
fees,
for
$200
ma-
to
maintenance fee?
$300.
How much is,
How much we charge the maintenance fee? What, for the motion?
do you have an idea?
If you want to put a number, I mean, at the end of the day, Public Works will maintain it. If you look at the cost, $300 a year, considering it's 50/50, it's fine.
Okay.
$300 is a
So
good.
$300 a year on maintenance.
Yes. I'm second.
Town clerk, call the roll. Yeah, 50% cost by the condos and/or,
Or hotels?
Annual fee.
right,
Seconded by
Diana.
Diana. Okay, Board Member Gonzalez,
Yes.
Board Member Singer,
Yes.
Vice Chair Jacobson,
Yes.
Chair Turgerman.
Absolutely, yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. All right, now what do we have?
Setting music on the beach.
I just want to make sure that, we don't pay this. All right, now we move to 6E, which is, no, 6D.
Yeah.
Yeah, 6D.
60.
Like David. Surfside towels on the beach. Again, Vice Chair Ben.
I'm on a roll over here.
Yeah.
So this one was brought up by a couple of people who I was talking with at the Music on the Beach event, which was a great event. Basically, we have all these chairs out there now from our provider who's putting out the service. Basically, they put the chair and the pad on top of it, and then they're just putting on a white towel. And the idea is maybe we can somehow promotionalize it, like on the back of all the chairs, where they have like the town seal or it says Surfside or something, so that when people are out there, it's not just a hotel or condo towel, it's a Surfside, Surfside chair.
And the chair, not the town.
Well, the towel goes over the chair, so
Okay,
it's like.
first of all, Bashir, let me interrupt you for a second. Any activity that takes place with the beach club is strictly residents provided. So anything that has to do with beach club, we cannot sponsor. Now, if you would like to have beach towels on our event as a giveaway, that we can do. But not for the beach club. The beach club is residents only.
But wouldn't that be considered marketing?
Sorry?
Wouldn't that be considered marketing, like if we put up a banner or a poster or
Not
anything
with
else?
the beach club.
No? Okay.
Beach club is totally exclusively provided by town fund, not the tourist board. And if I'm mistaken, Mr. Manager,
Chair, you're not mistaken. Originally, when the beach club was brought forth, it was brought forth to be funded through tourism dollars, but the commission at that moment made the decision for residents only, and the funding source was changed to general fund. Therefore,
Right.
the beach club is a general fund item.
thank you, Mr. Manager. All right, are we clear on that?
Sounds good. So do we want to make towels for events?
That we can do. That we can do.
And we have once a towels that were very popular actually in one of the events.
Mr. Manager?
Chair, just point of information. The community center is funded through the 66%.
Right.
And if perhaps you want to offer it for the pool use to hotel guests, that is an option as well. But that's for you.
Yeah, I don't agree with that either because of the fact that the hotels should provide their own towels. And they do. So I don't feel like we need to compliment the hotel guests.
I think he was talking about at the actual community center, like, not the hotel, but the community center itself. They have those lounge chairs
Yeah,
around.
The visitors come in from the hotels, they bring their own towels. I think we need, if you really want this, and I will support it, to have towels as a promotional item in some of our events, I think that's good. I mean, I would go for that.
We had that once because in one of the events Frank was giving that house.
Okay.
We did it once.
Are you receptive to that?
Yeah, I mean, I think we have all these events on the beach. If we can, hand our vendors, whoever is doing a beach event, a stack of Surfside, towels and have them give them out to people, and they show up in people's houses all over, and they take them back to all around the globe. I mean, I think that'd be a great thing.
Okay, I think that
Yeah.
cover that now. So,
Sure.
the question I have is, I don't think we need a motion for that because that goes under promotional activities. I mean, promotional items.
Yeah, we can, I mean, I think there's no objection from anyone. We're
Right.
happy to look into ordering some for
Yeah,
the
we
very
don't need a
next
motion.
event.
Okay.
And you have the funds to do that under the promotional, so.
We still have enough funding, and we're right next to the beach club, so some folks will probably take those over once they come to our event, which is okay.
Right.
Great.
Because I just want to make sure that
Yeah.
we're in line with what we're supposed to do and not do. Okay, very good. Mr. Manager, any question on that? Cleared. Okay, perfect. All right, Ben?
Yeah, I'm good.
Very good. So we move now to the next item, which is extending music on the beach through the summer. That's you again, sir?
Yeah, so, we were at I was just talking to Alan at the last Music on the Beach, which was what was it, 2 weeks ago, something like that? And 2 weeks, 3 weeks. It was a great event, and a lot of people came out. It really increases the whole vibe of the beach. Not just the people who are there for the music, the people who are sitting by the chairs, the people who are just walking around. I think it's very well received by a lot of people, and there are people who come just for this event. So, as we go into the summer, I'd like to see it extended and continued, monthly through the summer, so we continue to have that music and fun on the beach. I did ask, Alan about maybe having some misters or something, because as the summer months are hotter, it's more difficult to just sit on the beach, right? You need to either have umbrellas with some shade, you need to have some misters, something else to keep people cool. There's always plenty of food and water, so we've never had an issue with that. But just, it's the middle of July and August in Florida. We all know what that's like, even on the ocean. So the idea was to extend that for the next couple of months.
Comments?
I want to suggest at that time to change that time because 3 o'clock is really hot. It's really horrible. Like you say, we need umbrellas and we need something else, but because it's really amazing to be there. And at 3 o'clock is really a bad.
Almost peak time.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a.
What time? Because we tried moving it to 5 or 6.
Because it's the
and it was-
summer, yeah.
Oh, Alan, should we? Oh,
No, because they did it at 3 last time, 3
Right,
p.m.
that's Diana's. How about you?
I would say yes, but can we add a special twist to the coming events in the summer, like something that different from previous event? Maybe we should ask.
Like,
I don't know. I'm into get new ideas. But,
no idea.
instead of extending what we are doing, it's like bringing something new. Right?
Yeah,
Could be
exactly.
music,
Refresh.
Yeah, will be better.
twist.
but, right?
Yeah, will be better.
Twist to it.
Will be better. I agree.
All right. So,
Good evening.
Alan, you're on.
Alan Andai, 9341 Collins Avenue. Thank you for the invite and the idea to extend it. To piggyback on the towels, we actually do an audience seating area, so that would be actually a perfect place. If you do the towels, we can have them ready to go as guests come in, and then they can either choose to sit on the chair or take it on the beach. The branded ones, obviously. So as far as the entertainment goes, something, and I think you had attended, we offer this
Alan,
service to another event.
Is that on?
Testing 1, 2.
it's on.
Is that we can add on a dance feature based on the theme. So once the performers are done, it's kind of like an encore surprise. We bring on a dance activation, and that's something that I think you attended another event, I'm not sure if you remember, where we had a Latin band and then we brought in the flamenco dancers. So there's something that we can make it more of an interactive, but that's something we could always brainstorm. But
Yeah, that
the
was-
concept of, I believe you were there.
That was in Bal Harbor. You offered for
I
Bal
think
Harbor.
we were
was
not
very
mentioning, yeah, so there's definitely something we can do to
Geez, you did
spruce it up
something
in
right.
design.
good. Yeah, for us too. Yeah.
Yeah, but definitely we can do
Whatever
it.
they have, we want better.
Yes.
We will make it better.
All right, so is the board amicable to extend?
But what about the time?
One
Ella?
second, Frank?
Through the chair, yeah, just questions on theme, timing, and date.
So regarding the timing, we tried playing with location and timing, and what we learned is the later you push it back, people have been on the beach all day. The kids, they want to get them showered and dressed. The tourists are kind of making dinner reservations at Surfside restaurants, obviously. So we brought it back to 3, and that was really the most impactful time for guest count. We can play with 3:30, but I think if you keep going a little further back, it may interrupt the amount of guests that you're expecting. And I know that that was something, at least the mayor wanted to make sure that there was always a steady stream of people. So that's just something to think about.
It's hot, but it's packed. When it's hot outside, everyone's going to the beach because that's the one place to go. You can't go to the parks. It's the one area that you can jump into the water and cool off. So that's why I wanted to have misters or umbrellas to make it, almost like a refuge for people who have been sitting on the beach for hours. Now they can go to this like really cool area and cool off and listen to some great music.
So you actually continue to support the 3 o'clock time?
Yeah, I think the 3 o'clocks from what we've seen has been the best.
See?
I mean, for me, yeah, it's fine. And it will be Sunday or what day during the?
My recommendation is consistency is what is key in events. So we had a really great success keeping it 93rd. We tried switching it up, and people still came out, but you definitely saw a differential on. Even people came to me at 96th saying, "Oh, when's the concert at 93rd Street?" I'm like, "This is the concert at 93rd Street." So I would try to always keep the time, the date, location consistent for success.
Oh, yeah, and we have a lot of people, but not really from the city. It's people who is in the beach. It's public, general public is what it is.
Well, those are
That's true.
visitors, so that's okay.
Yeah.
And,
That's okay.
I did hear one complaint. They need more ice cream. I know you doubled it, but I think you got to double.
I'm
not the
actually
bars.
gonna, if it gets extended, we're gonna explore actually trying to get, the problem is that box is so heavy, so we're exploring on actually having the servings at the event, so we're working on that. That's already in the works.
Yeah, I know ice cream is and popsicles are a huge hit with the kids, and all the events you do, they have those things there, and they go crazy for them. So it's awesome.
What are we talking about dollars? Is it the
They
same?
will keep it the same. Yeah.
Same?
There won't be
Okay.
any change.
Are we doing it with the additional food? I don't think you were using the full 2,000.
We
right?
never ended up using the full capacity, and I usually I imagine in the summertime,
Will be
with
lower.
the amount of
Colder.
trout, so I don't think I'll
Colder,
need, if you can keep it, but I've never used the full amount, I would.
I mean, I think in the
it's nice to
summer with
have
the
it.
smaller numbers, you probably can keep it like $1,000 extra for the food. That way
That
you-
works for us.
You have flexibility.
Okay.
And how many events are, so right now, there's nothing else scheduled from you, right?
No, I could fit in a July towards the end, so we don't compete with the earlier event, and then we can go through how long you want.
So July, August, September, something like that, 3 months?
That works.
That works?
That would take us through the end of the fiscal year.
That's awesome.
Vic, are you
Um,
okay with that?
Yes, and that will be consuming the budget from events, right?
Correct. So in this current sheet, these events would pull from the 127,420 number.
Perfect.
How much is the most? Right now.
It's whatever we've been,
18,000.
It's 18,000 with the 17 plus 1 for food, 18,000.
It's just 1 hour, right?
we've extended it actually to about an hour and a half, and we basically make it into a 2 hour, and then once sound's ready, we actually start playing music, so you get a good 2.5 hours of music. The concert is roughly about an hour and 15 minutes, and then we have the sound engineer continue playing on. But usually there's always an encore, so we stretch it out.
Okay, thank you, Alan.
Sure.
Sorry, lastly, in terms of themes, like music style, do you want to pick or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We've
we was-
done jazz, I can do
Jazz
rock,
for summer?
Latin, pop,
We've done most genres.
reggae works.
Who was
great.
Reggae?
The last one was really good. Who was the
That
It
last
was
one?
classic rock.
Classic rock?
Classic
So that was
rock.
our second rock. We haven't done a top.
I can do a
40, I
top
don't
40
know.
cover band, and the same musicians that played last time are actually part of a 15-piece cover band. So
They,
we
they were
can-
awesome, the ones last time. I
Yeah,
really
they
enjoyed
had
them.
Okay,
Billy
so why don't
Joel
we look
down.
into
So we can
that?
do top 40.
Yeah, Billy Joel, that was
reggae.
And the one, yeah, the
I
one,
think reggae
the
is-
one that you
is
did in Bar
popular.
Harbor was very good, that group. Was
Yeah,
the
reggae,
Latin band?
reggae.
Latin, yeah.
So I
that
can do
was very
Latin,
good.
reggae, and classic rock.
classic.
Cool.
Top 40 or something?
Awesome. Oh, top 40. Sorry. Yep.
Okay.
All right.
Good.
I think we need a motion for that because we're extending the activity.
All right.
So do I hear a motion?
Motion to extend music on the. Oh, what did you think about the misters?
Let me
or-
work on that.
Work on that.
If I can include it, I'll do my best. I'm investigating on power and water because we need water running to the beach, which we don't have. So I'm trying to find out how we can. I'm working on it. I found
Okay.
a temporary solution.
All right. So the motion is to extend music on the beach and include additional up to $1,000 for extra food for July, August, and September.
I second.
Okay.
Board Member Singer,
Yes.
Vice Chair Jacobson,
Yes.
Board Member Gonzalez,
Yes.
Chair Turgerman.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you very much.
And just one, it was asked because the theme is more events. So we did prepare a collective beach offering as well, but it's not on the agenda. So can I send that to Frank and present it at the next meeting as another option?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Awesome. All right. Have a great evening. Great to see
All
you.
right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, now we move on to 6G, which is budget discussion. Ben's favorite topic.
Thank you, Chair. And if, again, I can have you folks refer to this stapled package. The very last sheet is the recommended proposed budget, but we'll go over it one more time. There is one partnership proposal that we received from the Museum of Contemporary Art in North Miami. They have municipal partnerships with a lot of museums in the area. This is not so much to bring, say, art here, but it's kind of to provide art to our community. So if you have a look, it's in the second and third page. So there's 3 different options that they have put together. Option 1 is 2,500, option 2 is 5,000, option 3 is 10,000. Basically, this would allow the community, and here, they're going to treat Surfside residents the same way, Surfside hotel guests the same way they would a Surfside resident. So this would extend a 20% admission discount year-round to our hotel guests or residents. We get some recognition on their donor wall. There's a couple of VIP reception tickets, and then we get a curated tour of the museum for up to 40 guests, which we can ensure that X amount of those slots are made available to our hotel guests. MoCA is probably the closest museum in the area, which is why they have partnerships with Sunny Isles, with Bal Harbor as well. And then you can see the tier goes up a little bit. The next one for 5,000 will bring a free art workshop. It's a small event though. I mean, it's only for 20 people, but it is an art workshop event. And then you continue with the curated exhibition tour, some additional perks, and then it goes up to the 10,000 level. So there's some additional benefits there.
Frank, this is not in Surfside. Does it bring people to Surfside?
No, there's the one art event, but it's to be able to offer Surfside hotel guests an art experience that they may not be getting here. We obviously don't have any art museums here in town.
I'm sorry, Frank. I've been asking for art on the beach type activity, or so-called art on the beach.
Right.
May not be on the beach, but it may be, let's say, the community center. We could use it, or we could use it one of the venues of whatever, maybe 93rd Street or whatever. But this, I personally don't think that it's worthwhile spending this kind of money. I'd rather have this kind of money into some sort of an art event or an art festival.
Sure. Just so you know, the board, I did ask them if they could potentially bring any of their art pieces here to town, any of their exhibitions. Unfortunately, they just really don't do that, but I did ask them, and I have reached out to other museums to ask.
I mean, whoever pays for the library fund, this seems like something else. If you want to offer discount to residents, it doesn't seem like a tourist thing. It seems like a town, whatever, a commission issue, if they want to offer something special.
Yeah, it's more on the residential side, but they are willing to interchange residents with hotel guests. That's why I'm bringing it to you all, but.
Sorry, is there any interest on your part?
No, really, I mean,
Ben?
No.
Zeke?
I would only say yes if the hotels tell us that they are really excited about this, because this is basically giving funds to the hotels so they can promote with them customers, with the clients. So, I mean, if we are helping them bringing people to Surfside, because again, based on the numbers, hotels are going a little bit down. So if the hotels tell us, yes, this is our target audience, and this is something that we can leverage to bring people down here, I will consider it.
I think that what you're saying, or if I am understanding, I think that an art festival would be much more beneficial for tourists as well as visitors than to have a small event like this totally dedicated. I have been alluding for the longest time that I want to see an art festival in the town.
Yeah, but the problem is that the main
Not
provider
this.
of this is not offering,
No.
so we know that
So-
option
So
doesn't
we
exist
need to
today.
look at,
Yeah.
no, we had in the past. In the
Oh,
past,
yeah?
we've had big art festival. And we took the entire parking lot of, right next to the post office, and we had tents in there, and we had artists that came in with their paintings and so on and so forth, just like Coconut Grove, of course,
Yep.
not to the extent of Coconut Grove. But we have had this in the town, so it exists. The only thing is that we need to look for it, search for it, and then grab it.
Well, I think it's Ezekiel brought up a really interesting concept that, I mean, may not work in this, but for generalization, the hotels run packages, right? You see like F1 came and the Four Seasons did this whole thing with F1 and, I don't know, it was $100,000 for the weekend. And it was crazy events. If there's something that one of our hotel partners needs, they want to partner with, the food and wine system, and we can somehow intertwine with that and join the food and wine festival, and then the hotels can sell a package for food and wine access because of that relationship. that could be something really cool and interesting and get everyone involved. But that would need the hotels to come to us and say, hey, this is what we need to sell this package, which will then increase their tourism dollars and bring more people to town. So it's a really cool concept what you brought up. I don't know how you can work with the hotels on that, but maybe if you have a meeting with them.
Yeah, I can check with them. I think February, like South Beach Food and Wine Festival, is typically a pretty strong time because that comes in, I think, mid-February. But there might be, a way to
Any event
tie
that they
into
can
that.
sell as a package, it's because of we do a larger relationship where we go out and buy a pass or sponsorship or something, and then they can intertwine with it. So maybe, the hotels all have huge marketing teams and lots of people. Maybe they can come up with something interesting, and then you can come back and present that.
Okay.
Yeah, so I didn't factor that into the budget. That was the question. So if you're not going for it, the numbers stay the same. But if you take a look down, I don't know if you still wanted to keep the $20,000 line item for PR. As a reminder, we used $4,000 this year to promote Paddletopia. We had very good results, but we have kind of parked it there since. I don't know if you want to still keep it the next year. And then down in the event side, I've added the special events consultant budget, which will come out of the events portion. So that's in there. I've bumped up third Thursdays and, that second one should actually be Surfside Under the Stars, not First Fridays. So I bumped them up 5 events, which is what we did this year. So that's those 2 figures. Basically have everything that we've added here this year. And so when you factor all of that in, the amount that would be left for the consultant to work with would be about $221,735, which is a pretty substantial budget for them to work with. So that's the recommended budget for tourism, but we also need to approve this extra sheet, the Parks and Recreation events, which of course are open to all of our Surfside Hotel guests. So we did fund those last year, so it's just a repeat of that same funding, again noting that it's open to all of our hotel guests.
Where is that at? I'm sorry.
What is that?
To your right, Eli, just a
Oh,
separate
I'm
sheet.
sorry, I
that
was
one.
looking at the wrong.
So they're doing Movie Under the Stars for $2,500, and we're talking about movies for $19,000. What am I doing wrong here?
Because
It's a very different setup, yeah. The kind of a basic setup.
he didn't have them food and everything, remember? Maybe it's coming up, right?
Are we
Yeah,
paying
well-
half of that or full or what's?
We fully fund these events.
We
they're,
fully fund these
Yes, because
events.
they're open to Surfside Hotel guests.
Oh, so if we're
This family fun day,
Mm-hmm.
that's really and truly a residential activity.
Right, but Surfside Hotel guests
Have access.
have access with proof of stay to all of these events.
So, I mean, it sounds like if we're doing Movies Under the Stars for $2,500, and we give you an extra $5,000, we'd still be, pretty good. 7,500 over 19,000. What am I?
Well, we can ask parks how they do it, but I don't know if what they do on the park would work on the beach.
On the beach.
I haven't been to the parks movies on the beach, so I don't know.
I think maybe we need to explore that.
Hector, I think, has maybe.
Manager?
Oh, Chair, I apologize. The event, if you've been to the Movie Under the Stars, it's usually at 96th Street Park. They set up a projector, aim it. It's mainly, we haul out the stuff, so it's mainly the coverage of the additional time for the staff to be out there, plus some popcorn. I don't know how the event on the beach is, but I can tell you how the one on 96th Street Park has been. It's a really scaled down in-house operation.
The house operation.
It is a house operation handled by the Parks and Recs team.
And is this year happening? Future work?
We've done variations where we do it on the pool. Maybe that's an option. The pool is a more controlled setting than the beach. The beach has some unpredictables, including the wind, and the wind can create some sound issues where you don't see them in the pool. Maybe the pool is an option, and then you'd be tasked with the Parks and Recs department, but I'd like to have a conversation with Tim, and perhaps we can discuss it next meeting.
And maybe also we could do more of those because when you have an event that's $2,000, I mean, we can do those frequently.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think we need to explore that venue because it makes dollars and cents.
The community center pool?
Anything that Parks and Rec can
Right.
do in-house that we can help them fund, right? And fund with enhancements. So
Right.
we've been funding Movie Night Stars for 2,500. We can give them an extra $2,000 and they can have pizza for everybody, you know, and for 4,500, we've just done an event, you know, it doesn't, not every one of our events has to be a massive, you know, blowout 4th of July enhancement event. Some of them can just be nice, you know, just quick events.
We're happy to recommend that to mention that to parks. Ultimately, it's their event, so they have to agree to it. Just one note through the chair for the manager. I think Andrea wanted to finalize the budget. The budget was going out in a agenda soon.
That's correct. The budget's for the budgeted numbers. You could remain as placeholders. Ultimately, the execution of the event would have to come through the board. With that said, what exactly is it concerned? Whether an item is $2,500? I guess the urgency of time is there. We have to publish Wednesday for the special budget workshop, but you know,
Oh, so we have to approve this today, this budget? That's what this
in
was?
substantial form at least. At least the final numbers.
I don't have a problem with that because of the fact that just in case we need to reallocate, that's an option.
That is what I'm going at. Stick with a higher
Right.
number. You could always reallocate and
Right.
stick with a higher number. That way you have the monies pocketed. You see how we've been moving around certain items. Have you seen some savings?
Right.
But keep the higher number there. That way we at least in budget form then figure you have that higher number to work with. That's my advice.
So where, I mean, I quick numbers, looks like we're at 1.2 million budget for this department. What is the actual revenue coming in? Because our, you know, it seems that we have a savings account that keeps going up and up and up.
It's iffy right now. It's a bit of a slowdown, so.
But where are we estimating that the money that will be allocated towards the board, you know, what are we estimating that'll be at?
1.3 to 1.3, 1.4 is what you're looking at. Keep in mind the numbers that we're talking about now, right now, we don't see them until next year. So we're always kind of working backwards in the sense that we have to have a budget approved, but the funding source numbers aren't going to come till the end of the year.
Well, I mean, being that we have, I think 7 million reserves, something like the 8 million, or
Not all of that, and Chair, I apologize for the interruption. Not all of that is 34% reserves. Some of that is 66% operational tourism. The tourism surtax, the way it comes into the town is, even though it comes in as 100% from the 4%, it's split internally where 34% is designated to this board for marketing as well as
Activity.
tourism
Activity.
enhancements.
Right.
The other 66 is meant for operational towards the objective of enhancing tourism, which goes towards your funding of the community center, as well as some of the things you see in downtown, as well as the CSAs have now been approved, which are for public safety of tourism areas. But that's 60, and some of public works items of troubleshooting lights in the downtown and whatnot. So signages, that's part of the 66%. But this board is 34%, and you're looking at 1.3 to 1.4. I think 1.3 is
so we're only at 1.2. So if I was gonna make a motion to approve the budget, I would like to add an additional $100,000 to special events, just to budget for that. We don't necessarily have to use it, but if we don't ask for it now, we'll never get it later, and we're projecting 1.3 to 1.4.
Yeah, I just want to say I spoke with the budget officer, and her recommendation was to keep the numbers the same. So that's how I worked the budget. So these numbers here are actually almost identical to what we spent last year. This is identically what Parks spent last year. Unless you wanted to increase the movies on the beach a little bit, you could.
to concur to Frank, unless you foresee a major change, it's really hard to justify an additional 100,000 just earmark it like that.
Yeah, no.
You have to then you have to go into the detail of this exercise and truly start defining events. You know, if something comes up, we would always assist to finding the resources and going into the reserves to fund an event. But unless you could really justify the 100,000, it's not responsible financial practices just to say earmark 100,000 just in case. My advice is to proceed with the finance department budget officer's recommendation of 1.3.
Well, right now we're 1.2. That's why I was.
1.2, 1.2. Can you confirm that, Frank?
Well, I haven't added it all up, but I know that the amounts of each section are the exact same as last year, which was the recommendation.
It's
No.
the addition there?
Frank, can you confirm what was it that the budget officer confirmed? Was it 1.2, 1.3?
It's just we didn't talk overall number. We talked this detail page, so we went by sections.
Yeah, but if you make an addition, it's no more than
It's 9:44.
Yes, we're at 1.226. So, you guys, if you guys feel comfortable staying with it? Agree? Good? Yeah. Okay, motion to approve.
All right, so do I hear a motion to approve budget as stated?
Motion to approve budget as stated.
Do I hear a second?
I'm second. I'm second.
Town clerk?
I got, okay, Board Member Singer,
Yes.
Board Member Gonzalez,
Yes.
Vice Chair Jacobson,
Yes.
Chair Turgerman.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you very much. Okay, now that we've approved the budget. We move to the next item,
6A.
my call to duty, which is 6H. Byron Avenue Monument sign.
Chair, I'm gonna put up a couple of slides with some examples for you. Let's see. Should I not have it? All right, sorry, I guess I'm missing that file. I will be right back with it.
Let's see what's the next one. Why don't we go to the next item? Would you guys allow me to jump one item while we get ready for the monument sign presentation? Okay? All right. In order to have a variety of food in our events, what I'm proposing is to have food trucks in addition to the small food bites that we now provide. So this way we have a bigger selection, as long as whatever food trucks we approve or we bring doesn't conflict with the restaurant's food that they provide on Harding Avenue. So I just wanted to make sure that you guys are comfortable to having this addition to our events.
And we will pay for?
No, the food trucks come into us, they sell the food. It's not free food. But it's an addition to the bites that we provide. A lot of people, may think that they want to come in and have dinner here. It's not a dinner bites. But if you want to have dinner, if we have certain food trucks that we can bring to the event, I think it will enhance the food experience.
Would it be possible to like have some of the Surfside restaurants set up like outdoor? If you're trying to increase the food, right? We've got 20 something restaurants now in Surfside. Would it be possible to have them come down and bring an open fire pit, or where we can keep the money in the neighborhood versus bringing in outside companies?
Well, we could always explore having, the problem with the restaurants is, they don't really have the facility to bring in the food at these events. They don't have a tent where they can cook there and give you the food at that moment, warm and hot or whatever. While the food truck, they have it all in their trucks. But what I'm trying to do is at one point, Third Thursday was kind of blasé, for lack of a better word. And when we introduced food trucks to the event, just gave it a new shot into the activity. So I'm saying to you is, keep the events that we have, keep the bites that we have, with the cooperation of the local restaurants, but also in addition to have these venues provide, or Frank contact certain food trucks to participate in the events that we have.
That will be for no beach events. All the events that we have in the street. or
Hard,
in the
yeah,
beach.
hard pack, not the hard pack, it will be the other events.
I don't see how it hurts. I mean,
No, but we need to be aware that that's what we're gonna be doing, because that's something that is not included in the activity.
we're not paying for it. They just show
No.
up and
Well, you coordinate.
But the consultant, right? Once we have the consultant, that should be maybe one of the tasks.
Yeah. But I just want you guys to bear in mind that the activities that we're having doesn't include food trucks. And I'm saying to you, let's have the activities that we're having in addition to food trucks. and making sure that the food trucks that we're bringing to town doesn't conflict with restaurants providers in the town.
And that doesn't take too much space either.
Well,
From the.
I mean, you
area,
can bring
I don't know how
in
many-
15 trucks, or you can bring in 4 trucks. A variety.
No, but still,
Depending upon the
that's a good
activity.
point, because when the contractors design the layout of the event,
Exactly.
now they will have to consider that there are gonna be 2 food trucks consuming some of the
Right.
space available.
Right.
I mean, I don't think we have room for more than 2 maybe at
Well,
these
what
events.
I'm saying to you is something that we need to consider in our activity.
Because actually, some of the events, I saw that some of the events, they are selling food, arepas or something like that, they are selling in some of the events that are organized. They were selling food, like,
Right, so the Surfside Under the Stars, they have stations that are selling
They were
food
having stations selling food.
versus, right, whereas the third Thursday events, there's just food for everybody. People just come and
Exactly.
take.
So should we not explore this, or what do you think? Yes, no? Let it die?
I mean,
I think that is something that needs to be organized by the consultants.
Get the consultant?
Well, like, if you want to ask
Move on.
Alan or Sarah if how that would help them, hurt them, I mean,
That's also true.
they're here if you
Good
want to
point.
call them
Yep.
up. I mean, it doesn't sound like anyone on the board has a strong opinion, just,
I
well,
think-
but to have an addition, I think is that the option is there for the people who want to buy food, like you mentioned.
Yeah, no, but it could compete with the space that they need in the organization.
Oh,
You see the point? It's
Yeah,
more
yeah,
about
yeah.
the space,
space is
and
gonna be-
organization and also traffic, right? Because probably these food trucks are going to be parking on Harding or.
well, you could probably fit like one in the parking lot in the back
the parking
corner.
lot in the
Okay.
back.
You could
But
put,
that space that they will not going to be available for them to.
it's dead space right now, like, all of
Yeah.
them,
It's-
and like I say, you could
It's
probably put one or
empty.
two in the back on a rotation
Yes.
I
to
just want to make sure
up the
that we
game.
consider that to our events. Because right now, we haven't explored that. And I'm just trying to do something a little bit different, a little bit of an addition to what we've done.
You want to try bringing like one food truck or something and seeing how that goes, or 2? You want to ask Alan maybe if you
With this,
But we have Sarah here too, so we can.
basketball or
Sarah, would you please come up to the microphone and give us your opinion on that?
Hi, everyone. Sarah Liss, 424 Surfside Boulevard. Yeah, we already have vendors selling food. They're not in trucks, but they're in stations that they create, and they are doing a nice job of having like a minimal footprint, which I like. So the food trucks bring generators and noise and fumes, which I find sometimes deters for people wanting to hang around in that area. So the vendors that we have, they have tents and canopies, and one guy does pizzas, another vendor does arepas, so it's a nice
I
variety.
just have a little question on that. That's a good thing. Your experience with the people that you've brought in for this type of food, are they hot food, or is it gets cold, or do they have?
It's hot cooked food.
Sorry? Hot?
Pizza-
it's fresh.
pizza
They
made to
literally
order.
out of the
All
fryer.
right,
into your
that's
hand.
just a question.
Yeah.
All right,
So
good.
it's also easier if the food truck doesn't have to drive into that space because then we don't want them to, they don't want to come like 4 hours before the event starts, but they have to if they're going to drive into that space logistically, because we don't want them driving in at 4 o'clock because people are, so it's sort of like they're not going to come 4 hours earlier and just park their truck there. So I think like having the canopies is kind of an easier
Easier, okay.
setup. Yeah.
All right, Thank
for
you,
us.
thank you. Alan?
How are you? So I was
Name
actually
and address again,
Alan
sorry.
Anti, 9341 Collins. Actually, that was a big challenge that Ela and I had when we started Third Thursdays. Is we wanted restaurant participation. We actually gathered everyone where Sushi Tapas was. We had all restaurants there, and they're like, "Yeah, let's do it." And then they're like, "Wait, we're running a restaurant, not event." So getting the staff out and just getting participation was impossible. So we needed that food element, and that's when we said, Eli, let's bring in food trucks. I've incorporated food trucks at Third Thirds. I don't know if you remember, we had the snow caps for the Hawaiian concept, and then for the car show, I brought out a couple trucks. So I incorporate them when I can. A big challenge is the food cost for them to come out. There really needs to be a justified amount for them to be able to make it worthwhile for them to come. I am open to, because we constantly have this request, Hollover does it, North Bay Village does it, but Surfside and Bell Harbor's not doing is an actual food truck event where people would congregate, we could have activation. So that's something we can make it a known thing, that on Wednesday night, you can come to this parking lot, we can line them up, and then have different themes or different concepts.
So what you're saying is to have, to have a food truck event.
Either a monthly or weekly. Tuesday is
Well,
Hollover,
it's
so I wouldn't
Hollover is
compete with
Tuesday.
them. Yeah, but
But that's an ongoing thing, so everybody knows that. So every Tuesday.
and
it's
you
packed.
get
Right, I don't think we're gonna do a weekly event here, though. I think that'll get too overwhelming and parking and shutting things down, but
No, I don't think so either,
But,
but the idea is
that's-
there
so
to
I'll-
have some sort of a different type of activity. But we'll bring, in this particular case of food trucks.
yeah. So
Speaking
I'll
about-
put together a proposal on the next one. We do, to your point, we do it already incorporated, so I don't think if at least our events, we try to, when it's themed, then we can fit it into the foot map, because as you saw, we take over almost every single square
Space.
inch of Third Thursdays to maximize that event. But I can definitely do a standalone food truck event, and that'll require consistency, because at least if it's monthly, they'll be interested. But if it's a one-off event,
no.
you're gonna get a little bit of pushback from them.
Yeah, we can advertise something, experience different culinary events or foods or whatever.
And those are
And-
minimally cost events, because you come, you pay. We would just probably need seating, maybe have a DJ or music.
Yeah, minimal.
and maybe we could do like everyone gets like, a couple we give out tickets or something, so you can, if we want to put some money into it, right, where people come, they get a ticket and they go take it to any food truck and get like one item or something, an appetizer, whatever it
good
is,
idea.
so they can get something and they can also buy something.
It would entice them to come in and so on and so forth. I think
Right,
it's a
or
good
do like
idea.
a QR code, register.
I mean, if you're looking
Oh.
for events, here's another one that we can add, to our events.
Yeah, and that's something you could do in the summer also, because
Right.
people come, they go, that's not a full-time thing.
Right.
We'd probably do the bigger parking lot, I guess.
I would recommend
The one in
on 90
close to
94.
Publix.
south of, nothing on
Across to Publix.
95th, because the police will kill us. But
94,
anything on
it's
94.
Kitty
Across-
corner Publix.
Yeah, that was where the
Across Publix.
original car show was.
Right.
And what we did is we had the cars, and then at the end, we had some food trucks. So it actually lends perfect, and I can throw some bound house. There's fun ideas, and that should be minimally, it shouldn't be a very big expense to the town.
Yeah.
Okay,
Just-
let's explore that.
And just, to make
One
note,
second.
Just about that, I really, I don't think it's a good idea to be doing a monthly activity. I agree with the food trucks to try some, but like doing a monthly activity, I think it's gonna be too much.
On a monthly.
A monthly, in a
well, we
monthly
could see,
basis.
you could see the success of it, and if it's doing well, you keep it going,
Well,
especially if
yeah.
it's not expensive,
Yeah.
right? If
well,
it's only
exactly.
costing us,
Because
In
we
other words, the board
we don't
is
pay
trying to explore
Sure.
this.
I think if you pitch it as like a 3-month trial, so that way at least the trucks know the first one probably won't be successful, but then as
Well, I
it goes
think if
on.
you add Ben's suggestion as far as providing a coupon, it will bring out the,
Yeah, well, definitely, any of those, I mean, that's what we did with the car show. We had prizes and,
okay.
so, yeah, I'll
and
put
I,
something together.
and I do like
Thank
to
you.
note that, Alan's events on the third Thursdays, there is so much food. People are, I mean, you just see happiness all over. It's just then there's the dishes are, what is it, 10 restaurants, 15? 17 restaurants are
Amazing.
are out there. So it's really, it's a taste of Surfside right on a third Thursday. Well done, Alan.
All right, thank you.
Diana? Sorry.
I don't know where to make this comment now that we are talking to Alan and Sarah. I want to make a comment that I did in one of the events that they need to talk to the employees that they are bringing, the people who is offering the food and everything, because some of them, they were really rude with the people, with the customers, with the neighbors. And I noticed that, and they told me, and I report to Alan, and I say they need to be taking care of that people, that they are bringing food, because they think that because it's free, but they don't know that it's free because we pay for, and they were treating no good the people, okay? Some people was pretty rude, and they told me, and I noticed that also. And it's a recommendation for both.
Frank?
Please try to talk to your people, and then, because it's not fair, we are paying for this and we are not paying $2, right? That's it. I mean, it's a suggestion. Also about the lack of things that we noticed in some of the events. Also, I don't know where to make that comment, but we were trying to bring that comment today too, but yeah. About if they run out of food or water or whatever since the beginning, how you expect that it's going to work?
Right, one of the
Yeah,
things I asked.
right
Hold on,
now, we
Nathan.
have no running of water. If they do,
Yeah,
get penalized.
okay.
That's important.
Chair,
right now.
may I make one comment? I just want to correct something I said earlier. It wouldn't be a penalty, it would be liquidated damages. I just want to clarify that for the record.
Even terminology-wise?
Yes, terminology-wise, because
Fine.
words are important. It's-
Liquidated
They would be
damages.
liquidated damages,
You got
and
it.
we're gonna work on the language. I also just want to mention that the agreements, I was looking at a few of them, the vendors say they're gonna include water, but it's not clear that it has to be, for the entire
Through the
event.
duration.
So we'll clarify that.
Right, and because there are all those contracts, anybody who doesn't sign it, you're just gonna terminate the contract on them, so it should be pretty easy to get done.
Frank,
We gave you a shotgun, so,
take note of what Diana said, please. And, okay, good, okay? I'll
Okay.
take it.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, we're going back to the monument,
Oh, wow, thought we're done.
almost.
Last
Almost.
item.
Have a public
All right, Chair, I've got our existing here. If you want to talk through it, I'll just flip through.
Sorry?
Which-
This is on 87th Street and Abbott. Byron, sorry, 87 and Byron. We have a little tiny sign that is pathetic.
That
There
one?
it is.
So we're proposing, a nice sign
Okay.
made by us.
I remember, yeah, the
That's
beginning.
where we're at now. Okay, go ahead. This is one.
This is option one, so it's a little taller, and the Surfside logo would light up, so it would look cool at night to have the Surfside logo lit up. Second option is shorter and does not light up, a little bit less expensive.
How much?
$97.68 versus $85.71. They also sent me this document. It's not like a full proposal, but I asked, what other styles do you guys have? Let me see.
What is the material on that? Is it metal?
Yes, yeah, it is a metal, yeah.
I mean, but
I
for
think we
10,
need to
for 10,000,
piece of metal with the lettering.
yeah,
Sounds
I,
outrageous.
yeah.
Mr. Manager, just a quick question. Would it be better to consider something with block or cement or something more than a piece of metal with lettering?
Chair, you're looking for something more 3D, third dimensional rather than flat. Yeah, it's an option. You want to see something more like what we have at
More
currently.
substantial, yeah.
What we have currently, does that work for you over at Collins Avenue coming in or coming in from 96th Street or coming in south, our current ones? That way it's all consistent. Probably provide you that same vendor to provide a price.
What do you think, guys?
What does it look, what are we trying to match?
The entrance on 96th Street.
Frank, would
coming
you
in
be able to
from
go on
Harbor.
Google Earth coming in?
Yeah,
from-
well, I've got a picture. We can go on Google Earth, but that's the photo of the Google Earth as well.
96
No,
hours.
no. We're talking about the existing ones coming in into downtown Surfside from Harding Avenue heading
Ah,
south,
okay.
or coming in from the tennis center, or 96th Street, which is the existing sign. I think Don Bell provided those as well, so we'd probably just have to reach out and get a proposal for those. That way it's all consistent.
Speaking about the signs, Frank, have we looked into the lighting on 87th Street in Collins?
I did ask, what is it? It's not Miami Christmas Lights. It's another name of the Christmas Designers is the company that has done the turtle lights. So I did ask him for more options, but those lights are currently still up. So I think, the manager needs to decide if we want to remove the turtle lights. And at that point, you can
Well,
entertain
no,
some
the
new
turtles,
ones.
the turtle lights are okay. It's just that the sign Surfside, it needs better lighting. the word Surfside.
You're talking about the community center sign?
No, I'm talking about the 87th Street in Collins.
Okay, so the actual
The
lighting of the monument sign.
Veterans Park.
I don't remember the
So-
one that Hector mentioned in 90.
Yeah, I'm going.
Is that one, right? Yeah.
Yes, I'm gonna flip over in a second.
The one that you mentioned, did you find it? The one that
Okay, there it is.
96 and Harding?
We'll
I
go
don't
one
know
at a
if
time.
right.
Here's the Collins and Veterans Park.
That one. Yeah, that one
That's
is,
the one that needs
that
to
one is, that
better
is
lighting.
tall.
Yeah,
Okay.
it needs to be bigger and
Or tall
lit.
and tall.
I mean,
That
most people,
can
you're gonna
see.
miss that if you're driving in.
You do, and then
Or
it's
tall.
not lit up enough.
Okay,
So
Because that
the
is
idea is for
concrete.
somebody that's driving through to see the sign that you're in Surfside now.
I agree that one is a much more passive, monolithic. That's the one in all the areas
Right.
coming in to downtown from north to south. So when you cross Ball Harbor and you cross 96th Street going south, there's two of those on each side of downtown. I think Frank is about to show them to you.
Yeah.
They're all the same. So you're looking to make the entry features. How about those? Would you say the same thing of those, or leave those the way they are?
If you do taller, it's no better because
What is it?
make it a little
Taller.
higher.
Higher, you mean?
Higher, yeah. Those are great, I mean, but it's
I guess
low.
if we take that and we upgrade it, right? We make it bigger, we make it brighter, we make it, more visual, and we see how it works on this spot, and then we can maybe when they go back and upgrade the existing signs in that new standard.
Would you like for us to come back with a recommendation just for tennis center, and if that's then could be applied everywhere else? We could-
Oh, the tennis center?
That's the one, the
we're
first one
talking
we
about? Yeah.
saw.
I think we need to do both. We need to do the tennis center as well as Byron and 87.
If I could salvage, so my question to you, do you want the one on Byron to be big too? I think that one should be a
It
little bit more
depends on the
passive.
space.
What if I could recycle one of those on Byron?
That would be wonderful.
Right,
to
we put
on
that on Byron and we
You
take
can
one of
recycle that one
Yeah,
on Byron, that would
exactly.
be
Why don't we do
wonderful.
that? So let's focus on one thing at a time.
Okay.
Let's focus.
All right, we need to have a better signage coming into on 87 and Collins. That's one. And two, it's perfect idea that you brought forward, which is to relocate this sign
One
to
of
Byron
those.
and 87.
Chair, so let's do that first, and then let's evaluate everything else, how we build on. So I think the direction is clear for how to come back next month.
Okay?
You'll task us to find a new entry feature sign coming in from the tennis center, knowing that the end game was never to throw away the other one, is to salvage it and put it on
Right.
Byron. So you just fix
Beautiful.
that one, but you're fixing two things in once.
Good.
Awesome.
So let's do that.
Yeah, love it.
Yeah, I like that idea. Zeke?
Yeah,
comments
it's in
on
the
it?
middle.
Good. Diana? Perfect.
Perfect.
Thank you, Mr. Manager.
Do we need a motion or just that
I
direction?
don't think we need a motion for that, do we?
No, Chair, just a point of clarification, though. Understand, and I think we're getting in the rhythm of more permanent changes into the town. So I'll probably seek gratification from the town commission for these longer impact items. I think it's good that we're all on incisiveness. I don't see why there would be a
Opposition?
opposition, but in good faith to long-term impacts at least being ratified. I think it's just something I was thinking.
I really think that with this enhancement, really, really nice coming into Surfside
Mhm.
on
Oh.
Collins. Because that sign is really, and it bothers me to no end, and of course Byron also did, so. I think,
Yeah,
Alright,
awesome.
any clarifications you need any further? No, fine. Okay, we'll move to the next item.
Public comments?
Food trucks, I think we covered. That was covered already. Public comments, I'm gonna open up public comments. We do have a speaker card on this item. Mr. George Kosalas, you're on. Name and address, please, for the record. George?
George,
Speak to
is
this
that
microphone.
mic on?
Yes, it is on.
It
Oh,
was
it
not
on?
on.
Oh,
So, the sign proposed for the town hall, which I think to dovetail off of what the town manager said, it seems to be kind of, You guys are getting outside of your lane on that one, where you're branding and badging something in front of a public building. That should really be the purview of the commission. The other thing is that the lettering, the block lettering, doesn't really match what we have, and you can see that on the Byron Avenue sign, you continue with the script S. But aside from getting out of your lane on this one, it's also an inherently bad sign, and I'll tell you why. One, it masks the building entrance. The building entrance on this corner here, off to the side, here off of Harding, the building recesses there, the flagpoles are there, you can see the doorways, and now you have this wall of lettering in front of it. It's in the absolute wrong location. The other thing is, because it's multicolored, it diminishes the impact of the colorful turtles. They really recede. And look at the photos of this, or the mock-ups. It also kind of competes with the building signage on the building. And of course, the final thing is that it's really a different letter type than what we are seeing. So, I mean, it's fine for something that you might see on a T-shirt or some other thing, but there should be a very deliberate effort to change the logo type of the town. And this is just the wrong sign in the wrong location. Now, a sign like this, facing Miami Beach as you come into town, right there at 87th, that might be appropriate, the scale it has and everything else. But in front of Town Hall, it's just the wrong sign in the wrong place. Thank you.
Thank you very much, George. Thank you. Any comments?
Based on that comment, should we?
Well, actually, the reason why we're doing what we proposed to do, together with the manager, was to bring Surfside, and because of the colors, it's basically geared for tourism. Now, I think I gave Frank, I don't know how many, maybe 10 different cities that are tourist-related, that they're all using this sign, and including now, Miami Beach is using it at Lumos Park, as I understand it. So I think the idea is there. I think that the colors that we've done and we propose and we spent it on the community center, it's great. And I don't know if you have, Manager, any type of comments on that so far, on the colors and what we've done with that signage?
Chair, the tourist board ratified two things, which was the expenditure as well as the design, and as well as the location, Town Hall. These are the three things that we're going to move forward now to the commission level for ratification. So the commission will discuss if there's any comments or feedbacks, it will be brought back to the tourist board, and a further discussion will be had. But as of right now, it's set up for a conversation as a discussion item for the June 13th commission meeting.
Commission meeting, okay. Anybody else? Ben? Diana?
No.
Okay, move on. Thank you, Mr. Manager. We close public, do we have anybody else from the public that'd like to speak? Not, closing public comments. And now we move on to the next meeting, which is set up for July 10th. Anybody comments? No comments? No? Okay, I entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn?
Do I hear a second? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
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 Thank you very much. Have a pleasant evening. Thank you.